Hi, dear students. Hi, I think you are well. I'm MD Abdul Mazid, Assistant Professor and Head of the Department of English, Daulatpur College, Kushtia. You, the students of HSC first year, you are welcome for getting admission into our college. Now, we shall read first year course, first paper, English for today, from English for today. Today we shall read a story from Unit 11, Lesson 3. The name of the story, Imaginary Travel. You know, travel means tours. That means to go from one place to another, to see or enjoy new places, new cities, new areas of the country, and in the inside or home or abroad. Now we shall read a story fully imagined. That means the story is imaginary, not real. It is narrated from the mind of the author. Travel can be imaginary as well. Authors would sometimes make imaginary voyages to strange places and draw pictures of people and places, manners and morals. That means authors can write a story from his own heart, from his own mind. It can be real or imaginary. And in this place, now we shall read a story that is fully narrated from the mind of the author, imagined. And by this story, we can also know new places and pictures of the people and places, manners and morals of the people. Perhaps you have heard the name of an author named Jonathan Swift. He was born in 1667 and died 1745. And the name of the story was Gulliver's Travels. Gulliver's Travels. From the name of the story, we can imagine a character named Gulliver, and he traveled in new places. This book was published in 1726, and this is an example of imaginary travel. Swift created a fictional traveler named Lemuel Gulliver, a ship doctor who visited the lands of Lilliputians and Brobdingers and the island of Laputa. Jonathan Swift created a character named Gulliver. He was a doctor of a ship, and he traveled or had voyages in seas many times. And the places described in this book named Lilliputians and Brobdingers, and the island Laputa. The island is, we know, a landscape in the sea. As we know, in our country, Bangladesh, we have heard the name of Saint Martin. It's to the south of Bangladesh, and we have to go there from Teknaf by ship and reach there within 3 hours. It's called the Channel of Bangladesh or Bangla Channel. Perhaps it's 15 kilometers from Teknaf, Cox's Bazar, in the middle of the Bay of Bengal. So we can know the island. In our country is the only one probable island. There are all fictitious places inhabited by imaginary people. The places narrated in the story is also imaginary. These travels here, however, carry a serious purpose. They reveal truths about human nature. As human behaves, we also know the nature of human in that area. For example, even today, human life is poisoned by evil such as racism, religious extremism, bigotry, etc. Gulliver, during his visit to the land of Lilliputers, who are humans only about 6 inches tall, discover how strongly prejudiced the Lilliputians are about certain things. We have heard the name of Lilliputs, the inhabitants of that area, and they are so short that we can't imagine. They are only 6 inches high or tall. Now we can read the following story. In that country where Gulliver reached, they were surprised to see a creature high tall, named Gulliver. The soldiers of that island gathered and arrested him and caught him by ropes, and he was imprisoned for a few days. And after that point, he narrated this story. One morning, about a fortnight after I had obtained my liberty, Russell, principal secretary of private affairs, came to my house, attended only by one servant. When Gulliver got liberty, freedom, after a fortnight of his liberty, Russell, they kept the principal secretary of private affairs, came to him following by only one servant. He ordered his coach to wait at a distance and desired I would give him an hour's audience, which I readily consented to on account of his quality and personal merits as well as of the many good offices he had done me during my solicitations at court. The principal secretary, Russell, ordered his coach to wait for some time and asked my permission to have a gossip or chat with him for an hour. Begged my permission to give him some time. That means 1 hour to discuss with him. And I currently or instantly agreed to his request, as he was very polite and did some good offices to me when I was in the court or jail. I offered to lie down that he might more conveniently reach my ear, but he chose rather to let me hold him in my hand during our conversation. As I was tall and he was so small, so I offered him to lie. I offered him to lie down that he might the more conveniently reach my ear. If we both stand together, he cannot reach to my shoulder or ear. He was too small and I was too high, so our conversation would be very difficult to hear. So I offered him to lie down so that his word would come to my ear. But he chose to hold him in my hand and lift him to my ear, so that our conversation he can hear what we have in our conversation. He began with compliments on my liberty, said he might pretended to some merit in it, but however added that if it had not been for the present situation of things at court, perhaps I might not have obtained it so, said he. Flourishing conditions as appear, invasion, and in this way our conversation began, and he praised me so highly, and I also praised him because he helped me in my difficult situations. We know from this story that in this world there are many countries, there are many places, and animals in the world are different. Human beings are also very different in different places. Some are small, some are tall. As for example, we can see the Japanese, the Chinese are too much short, but they are too much active. And the English are too much high or tall. We also, the Bengalis are also tall, and some are small. In our country also we can see the races in the Chattogram areas. There are many Upajatis, they are too much small. So, in this history, we have a description of the human beings different from one to another. In his voyages, he was entered into an area where the people were too much small, they were 6 inches high or tall, and in another travel, he also saw a different country where people of that country were too much taller than him. So we can see people of this universe are not the same size. Some are white, some are black, some are small, some are tall. So their manners, their behaviors are also different. Their doings or works are also different. So we can see the different situations of the world, different manners of the world, of the people of the world, etc. But we have to do our duty, do our work, do our actions, and minimize, communicate our thoughts and pictures, thoughts and ideas, and do our works together. Thank you. No more today. I think you will be safe from the dangerous disease COVID-19. Be careful, stay home, and if you go outside, I think you would wear mask. No more today.